Hi everybody, Sunfire Fire back here. So, I don't want you I know you all see the long braid, so I don't want you to think it's been too long, but it has been a long time, but don't worry. It's not my real hair. Um, so, um Merry Christmas everybody and Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, everyone who celebrates everything. Um all those holidays. I So I have a few things that happened to me over I don't know when my last video was, I forget. Um so I don't know if I went over that I don't want to call it promotion, but my family's calling it promotion, but I moved up to I moved up from the toddler classroom to pre-K. Well, we technically call it older preschool because we technically call it older preschool because we have our program and we have universal pre-K program. So, and we don't want to get those confused. So that's why we usually call it older preschool, but it's technically pre-K. It's technically pre-kindergarten. So, also I have kind of, I don't want to say necessarily a cold, but I've been sneezing a lot and I've been sneezing a lot and I've had like it's a very stuffy nose. I coughed a little bit, but not symptoms, not really like a cold. Well, I guess you could say it, but I feel okay. And actually my company gave the whole company a week off, so I don't have to work between December 26th and January 1st. So that's and I don't have to work between December 26th and December 31st or 30th is like Friday. So yeah, so that's good. Um, it will give me some time to work on my thesis that I did not work on. But I mean, I did have to do a peer review and I did turn in 30 pages of my thesis. And speaking about my thesis, so I'm pretty sure if you've followed me that you know, I don't know why I said followed. Now I'm becoming an influencer. See, my mom even got me a light. Um, so so if you've watched my video before, you know I've been talking about what I want to do for my thesis. By the way, I'm drinking black tea. I forget which brand it is. It's some British black tea. Um, um, so my oh my gosh, I just trailed off again. So my thesis was originally going to be about comparing mad doctors and in the formulation of modern medicine, and I wanted to talk about that and like what defines a mad doctor, what defines what what defines a mad doctor, and what defines the doctors that were doing that were practicing medicine and trying to find out stuff because they had to be they had to work their way around stuff to that people didn't think was in the norm back then to formulate modern medicine. I mean, implants, putting organs in other people's bodies, that was a little weird. Blood, also blood transfusion, putting other people's blood in other people's bodies. again, that's weird. But they had to experiment with that, and they had to experiment, and sometimes they even, I forget who, I read someone, they even stole dead bodies. Like, who do we know also stole dead bodies? Um, Dr. Frankenstein. So, yeah. Um, and yeah, and even now, people are still debating, like, what does, like, what is the line of ethics that we should cross? Like, I know if you know about, if you've been looking at some like biology, you would know about like CRISPR. Forget what it stands for, but it's like it's it takes out like genes. It takes out and creates, and it takes out genes, or like stuff that would turn into like, would make you like a mutant or something. And so they're trying to make it so it prevent people, babies, from being born with deformities or illnesses or something like that. And now people, and then some people are just like, hey, well, that's kind of weird, because then it's going to be like a designer, you're making a designer baby. And it's good and all, but also, what could, it wouldn't stop the parent from saying, oh, I want my baby to have a defined jaw. I want my baby to be tall. I want my baby to be muscular. When so that would be that's a big reason why a lot of people don't like it. It's good, but a lot of people don't like it. Oh, I don't want to say they don't like it, but they have a lot of, they disagree with a lot of stuff, a lot of the things that CRISPR does. But uh also, so I I'm guessing you want to know what I had to do, what I'm doing right now with my thesis. So um I so in my seminar class, I told my professor about it. He kind of rejected it. I think I said this in another video. He rejected it, my first proposal, because he said it was kind of film studies type of proposal more than any than history. And so that's when I incorporated the I think that's when I incorporated like modern medicine, comparing and contrasting modern medicine. And then that professor was okay with it. And so then fast forward a class later, well, two classes later, because I had a class in between those, the seminar and the capstone. So fast forward to my capstone course, and my I get my proposal to my professor again, my capstone professor, who's different than my seminar professor, and he rejects it. And it's different than my seminar class, because for my seminar class, I had time to debate it and to rearrange my proposal, but now I don't. I only have, I don't want to say 10, I was about to say 10 weeks, but technically it's 9 weeks. I only have 9 weeks to do my proposal. So I sent my proposal in the first week. He didn't give it back to me until the end of the first week. So I was just like, you know what? He didn't give me back my proposal. I had to like just I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna pick something completely different now, because I didn't have time. I didn't have time to debate it with him. And then he said, well, if you're not going to do, you should probably get rid of the mad doctor thing. But at that point, I already had a new topic, which was Buddhism. And because I didn't really want to do medicine unless it didn't have anything to do with mad doctor. So, by the way, I got this mug in Austria, Vienna. And I also got a new bookcase. So yeah, I did. There's so much work that goes into a thesis I didn't even know, and I've had to write on my wall. You can see the post-it notes on my wall. There's just 2 right here, but there's more over here. I've had to create so many folders in my laptop. I've been working on the bus. I work when I'm going to school. I'm working when I'm leaving school. I work on my break. It's just a lot of work. So I'm doing that. Have 30 pages. On week 4 or 5, I did the peer review. We were supposed to give our peer review, and everyone was supposed to look at everyone else's to stuff to determine is it what else we needed in our theses. And I got good feedback from the people who gave me my feedback, the classmates who gave me the feedback. My professor, on the other hand, and this wasn't supposed to be this. It technically was a peer review. He wasn't technically supposed to be looking at it, but he did look at them anyway. And he was just like, "Oh, you have no primary sources." I'm like, "Yes, I do." And it's just like, so I'm doing Buddhism. I obviously have 9, and I also have 9 weeks. I do not have the funds, nor do I have the time, even if I did have the funds, nor would I have the time to go to Tibet or India or China to find scriptures and just go to the Met. And what do you want me to just go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art and just steal a 6th century Buddha and then just, no, you don't want me to do that. So then I don't want to do that either, because I don't want to go to jail. I think stealing from the Met, would that be a federal crime? I think so. I don't know, but I'm not doing that. I'm not. It's like, so I got pictures. I have pictures from the Met. I have pictures from the databases. Usually, most of the time, the databases that they give you on that your college or university has are scholarly sources. So I got it from there. What else do you want me to do? And I'm just like, you don't have any primary sources. I'm like, I do have primary sources. I'm even talking about the psychedelic movement in the Americas during the 1960s. And I'm comparing it to psychedelic drug. I'm using psychedelic drugs, and I cannot pronounce this. Vajrayana. Anyone who knows Buddhism will correct me on that. Yeah, I used that, and so I'm just like, so I emailed him. I'm just like, so then, in your opinion, what is because he said that before when I gave him my first proposal and rejected it. And so I was just like, okay. Because I didn't have a lot of primary sources back then either, because people use, I don't think anyone has ever done the topic that I wanted to do, so there wasn't going to be a lot of primary sources out there. Um, so, um, so at this point, I was just like, so I emailed him, say, so what is your opinion of a primary source? And then he emails me back. He says, it's not what my opinion is, it's what is, it's not what my opinion is of primary sources. It's the what Southern New Hampshire University says is the primary source. And I'm thinking, like, he said, this is not word for word, but because I don't remember it exactly, but he said, and I'm guessing that someone on your level of um, degree would know, or something like that, would know what a primary source is. I'm like, okay, wow, that was rude, but thank you. I'm just asking because, and so I wanted to clap back at him so bad, but I was just like, but I said, well, I said in my email, and again, this is not word for word. I replied to him back and said, well, I know written a lot of primary, I've written a lot of papers throughout this program, and so I'm I feel like I'm pretty familiar with what a primary source is, but you're saying you're saying I don't have any primary sources. So, which is because I'm just wondering, like, so because I have a lot of pictures, so I'm just saying, does he not count pictures as primary sources? Because there are some professors out there that just want to make that they just want to watch the world burn. They just want to make us. They want to make students suffer. They're out there, and I don't want to say necessarily he is that, but I'm just saying it's like you're telling me some you're telling me someone. I'm asking you why you're saying I don't have primary. I'm asking you, what do you think a primary source is? Because I am wondering why you don't think I have a primary source, and then you're saying, well, you should already know what a primary source is. I know what a primary source is. I'm asking because do you think I don't know what a primary source is? Why, if I didn't know what a primary source is, I would have flunked out of graduate school a long time ago. I wouldn't even be in graduate school. I wouldn't even, because I would have flunked out of undergraduate school a long time ago. I would have flunked out of my high school English courses if I didn't know what a primary source is. So how would I not know what a primary source is? And I'm asking you this because you're saying I don't have any primary sources when I know for a fact that I have primary sources. I made, as I said, I had a bunch of folders in my laptop, just, and I have a bibliography that for primary sources and a bibliography for secondary sources, and then I put them together and then I submitted it, and and he's still saying I don't have primary sources. I'm saying, so I asked him, yeah, so that's why I asked him. I'm well aware what primary sources are. I'm just wondering, why are you saying I don't have any primary sources? And then he says, oh, well, you know what? You do have some primary sources, but you only have a few primary sources. I'm like, that was completely different than what you said before. And he's saying, oh, but you only have a few primary sources. I'm like, no. And he specifically says which primary sources I do have. And I'm just like, those aren't the, I didn't email him back because I was just like, I don't have time for this. But those are not the only primary sources I have. He just wants to watch the world burn. I'm thinking, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I don't like accusing people of being mean. I know I know they're out there, but it's really hard not to. It's really hard not to say someone is mean, because I don't like saying people are mean, because I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's just miscommunication, but no, he could have read it over. There's a bunch of primary. I wouldn't say there's like a whole page dedicated to do primary sources for my bibliography, but there are a few primary sources in each chapter that I had, and he only pointed on one specific chapter, and I'm just like, that's not it. That is not it. That I don't know why you are looking at that. And then, because I have like I said, most of my primary sources are pictures. And then he says, your pictures are too big. I'm like, when I look back at it, I'm like, yeah, my pictures are a little too big. So I need to make them smaller, because it's taking up the whole page. So you know I have pictures, and yet you are saying I only have a few pictures, which I said my pictures most of my pictures are the primary sources. So you know good and well where I got my pictures from, because I did cite them. I do know how to cite. Well, actually, I used a citation machine, or like I just cited from. If you ever went to a database, you know they have the cite thing there generated for you, because when you do research, you can't do it you can't cite all the time by yourself. So it's easy to just copy and paste citation over there. So, but I don't know, and it just really got me down. I don't know why. It's like I was just so excited to be almost finished with this. Literally, it's week 7, but technically, since it's also Christmas vacation, we got our week 7 is now 2 weeks. But I mean, yeah, week 7 is technically 2 weeks in but so I literally have like 3 weeks left. 3 or 4 weeks left until I graduate. And I was just I think I got the thing like 2 weeks ago, and I was just in I was just so down when I heard him say that. I'm like, is this dude actually for real? Is he really saying this to me? And if you know me, you know that I get down in the funk really easily, and it really made me, I felt hopeless. I felt like, how can I do this when he obviously doesn't believe me. But it's just like, and I told my mom this, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I just want to give up, because at this point, because it's just like, I did all this work to get up to this capstone, and now it's just because I was hurt that I couldn't do the Mad Doctor thing. But it was just like, you know what, I'll just brush that aside, because I knew, because like I can come up with new stuff very easily, new topics very easily, because I've been in classes where my proposal was rejected before, and I had to come up with something very fast. So that's where that me coming up with Buddhism came from. I had to come up with something really fast. I did the Mongols. They like Buddhism. Let's do Buddhism. So I did a paper on the Mongols, Buddhism, in my head, so started working on Buddhism. And now just hearing this from that professor, it's just really, it really got to me. And I can't, you know what? I can't let that get to me anymore, because it's been 2 weeks and I've just been feeling so down from that. And now I feel like I'm starting to get out of that funk, which hopefully I can get it done by Sunday, because um the rough draft is due on Sunday. So hopefully I can get out of this funk at least by today. Um and you know what? I am going to try and do my best, because I don't know. Um I don't really know. It's like, I don't really know why, but I've had 4 male professors throughout my whole entire SNATU program. Um, 2 of them were okay. They were actually nice. The first male professor that I had, he was kind of on me a little bit by my grammar, and I was just like, you know what? Okay. I was like, but then I was just like, you know what? Then I looked at my grammar. I was just like, you know what? I'm making the smallest errors. So I have to watch what I'm doing more often. And then the other 2 were just like, the last 2 were just like, what is going on? Why are these professors acting this way? And because I had my last my last male professor that I had to check him twice, because I'm saying, like, something's wrong here. You're giving me a bad score for no reason, for something that, and so then he was just like, oh, okay, because I had to check him twice for that. And I'm just like, no, I earned that grade. You give me the correct grade. And now I'm having this professor who's saying I don't know what a primary source is. And so when I've actually been throughout this program, I have had to peer review so many people's stuff and look at so many people's discussions in my classroom, and a lot of them can't write. A lot of them cannot write. It's crazy how many people cannot write who are in a graduate program, and you're in a history graduate program where you need to have the basis of knowing how to write, and it's insane. I'm not throwing shade, I'm just thirsty. But I mean, and it's just like, and you're coming after me for saying that I don't know what primary sources are. Mm. You should tell that to my teacher, my English teacher. That time was shade. Okay. But it's just like, it really gets to you. I never knew how. I never In graduate school, is I feel like it's very easy, because in graduate school you don't have to know the right answer. You just have to you don't In graduate school you don't have to know the right answer. Well, I don't know about any other graduate school, but in the history program, you don't have to know the right answer. You just have to know. You have to have an opinion, and you have to back that opinion up. And that's what I like about this program. But what I don't like is the shade that they throw at you sometimes. It's just like, I don't know why they're, I don't know why did my professors have? What do these professors have to gain with doing this to their students? I don't understand. I think that really turned into a rant. I didn't really want to focus on that, but I think it did. But yeah. So also what else? So I had something else. What did else did I also have? Oh yeah. Um so I'm just basically right now trying to see if I'm basically just trying to see if I can I don't know what my third thing was, but I think to piggyback off of the school thing, I'm basically trying to see if I will be able to go um, to New Hampshire, because I don't know if I want to go to New Hampshire for my graduation, because that's just it's in April and the online graduation in May. But I don't know if I want to go to New Hampshire. I'll probably just do online. I'll probably just do online, but it does sound nice to get your cap and gown. Well, I think I'll probably still get the cap and gown. But and I don't know if I want to do I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I don't know if I'm going to go for my PhD. It sounds nice, and I don't even know what I would do if I would be in my PhD yet. I don't know if I'll go again for history, or maybe since I already have history in undergraduate, um, I'll go for like sociology or psychology or philosophy. I like now doing this um philosophy. I've been looking at a lot of philosophical things in in history. So I feel like that would be too. I mean, I feel like philosophy would be really cool too. Um, but I don't know because I remember my Chinese imperialism class. That was like when I had to take a semester off because that class gave me so much anxiety. It's just a lot of work, and like now with my professor, right, the drama I'm having with my professor, he probably doesn't think it's drama, but I think, but when you're messing with my grade, yeah, that's kind of drama right now, because I technically have a C in that course, and I'm just like, just because he didn't like my proposal, that's why he gave me an F when it was a pass fail grade. I'm just like, I gave it to you, I gave you my proposal, it's not like I did it, but you still gave me an F. And so now I'm just, I get in a funk so easily, that a negative funk so easily that I just can't function anymore, and it's hard. And so that's why I'm thinking I would like to do a PhD, but I need to save my mental health first. And also, since my since I'm in my older preschool class now, that I I'm the lead teacher now. So, and I'm technically the only teacher there, but I do have a Chinese teacher, but she's her title is substitute, but she's technically an assistant because um she doesn't do the curriculum. She's only there for to speak Chinese to the kids, basically, and to help me with the classroom, and also because to stay in ratio, because if I have, I'm getting 16 kids in February. I'm getting 2 more kids in February. Well, one more kid technically. I'm getting one more kid next in 2 weeks. I'm getting another kid in February, which makes 16 kids. And the kid from in February, she used to be in my toddler class, and she was a handful. And so so I'm gonna have 16 kids, and I'm doing the lesson plan all by myself. So I have to come up with new lessons for the kids. Um so yeah, it's a lot of work, and but let's see if I can do it, because I feel like with the toddlers it was a little easier. I mean, the toddlers it was easy because you didn't have to do a lot technically. We technically didn't have to do a lot, but with it's it wasn't as detail oriented. That's the thing. We had to do a lot, but it wasn't as detail oriented. And also, I already had a lead teacher in the toddlers, so she just reused her lessons. Since I am a new teacher, I'm creating my own lessons as I go. So I have that, and yeah, so pre-K is a lot more detail oriented. So it's a lot more detail oriented. So going to have to find out how to. I need to incorporate more math games into their things. I need to incorporate more science skills, and I'm already good with the art. I mean, but there's still some things I would like to. I have to incorporate sensory. I have to incorporate. Well, I already had to incorporate sensory in what's it called in toddlers, but yeah, it's a lot. Okay, well, this is a long video. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye.